Get Chenak Shi Yuchat do Sauk, and Nupak Chenak Onaleak Yuchat do Sauk, like Chenak Cody Wilkes Yuchat do Sauk, and Nupak Na Itziti, Klinget Yadi Itziti, Anchorage Hut, Sitka Kwan Hut. I said, and my Tlingit name is Tashi, my Nupak name is Onaleak, my English name is Cody Wilkes. My dad is Tlingit and my mom is Nupak. I'm currently residing in Anchorage, but my village is Sitka. So I'm working here because I like to let people know about how we live here in Alaska, and I'd rather people know about Alaska than them not know about Alaska. And I really like to talk to people about my heritage. Well, growing up, I grew up in Oakland, California, and my grandma and my grandpa, they both spoke Tlingit, so I ended up learning Tlingit and English at the same time. So my grandma, she taught me just about everything I know about my culture, and she taught me about our way of living, our way of respect for the elders, and that my heritage is very unique compared to the way of the lifestyle of the rest of the nation. When I was around about 5 years old, my grandpa took me on my first hunt. And so we hunt for seal, sea lion, deer, bear, moose, and that's just in the southeast area. In Tuktuk, that's my village up north, we hunt for whale and like seal and caribou. And I went on my first hunt up north when I was about 10 years old, and I harpooned my first whale. But I killed my first whale when I was 11, and that was with one of those exploding harpoon heads. So it was very exciting. I have up north and southeast are two different, very different lifestyles. My grandparents up north, they're Inupiaq and Russian. And my grandpa, he's Russian, and my grandma, she's Inupiaq. And my grandpa, he's never missed a hunt in 60 years, and he's very, very knowledgeable about the Inupiaq way of life. Not very many kids these days learn the language, and one way that we preserve our culture is by saying our stories in our language. And it's very difficult to translate the story from Tlingit to English because you learn the story from Tlingit, and in the Tlingit language there's not an exact meaning, it's just in the sense of, like I could say wasai tuati, that means how are you doing? But it doesn't mean exactly those words, it means in the sense of how are you doing. And I figure if I keep speaking my language, I'll be able to teach my nephew my language. He's only 10 months old now, so once he's able to speak, he'll be hopefully speaking our native tongue and have that native accent. So if we preserve our culture, then there will be more native speakers. To be proud of something is to have done something. I didn't do anything to be native, but you really have to be proud to be native. For one thing, we were the founders of this land. Everybody who's a non-native are our guests to this land, even to this day. So even if you just know a little bit about your heritage, You're taking a lot more steps than somebody who sees that they are in fact native, but they're living life of the white man, or they're wearing baggy pants and they're straight capped hats and they're trying to be somebody else. You're really keeping your heritage alive, even by telling your nephew that that your ancestors made baskets for a living, or you made mats. Well, I hope that the people that come here leave with a better understanding of Alaska. Generally, people, when they come to Alaska, they come here to the Heritage Center. We have a lot of questions about. We thought that every Alaskan lived in igloos, and that, in a sense, is its own derogatory term. It's basically we've never really lived in igloos. An igloo is a temporary shelter, and most people that come up here, they call all Alaskans Eskimo, which right now we're on Indian land, and all Athabascans are Indians, the Thinguts, they're Indians, and the natives up north and on the northwest coast, they're generally what people would call Eskimo. And Eskimo is the eaters of raw meat. So if you've ever eaten sushi, then you could be considered an Eskimo also.